the issues of Liberia hit the news.
What is it that we, the Liberian people, want?
The Liberian communities in the diasporas are not left out. That's why Diaspra Talk is back on your screens on KMTV.
In fact, the United Party is not cohesive.
Be it social, political, economic, and other issues affecting Liberia and the diaspora Liberian communities.
I did not expect to even make it to Hollywood.
Join Cyrus McGee and Nathan Charles every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 12 p.m. Central Standard Time, live on KMTV, Facebook, and YouTube.
I want to be arrested in the midst of my people.
As they discuss the issues, blending the voices from Liberia and the diaspora Liberian communities.
The Liberian Business Association in the diaspora should be used as a vehicle for economic development in Liberia because no country can develop without the diaspora impact.
For sponsorship, call some numbers 612-806-5896, 816-433-3979, or better still, email us at usakmtv@gmail.com. Diaspra Talk, check this out. Infotech Fast Track Computer Sales and Repair Center is proud to be associated with Diaspora Talk. Infotech Fast Track, a Liberian-owned business, is the leading computer sales and repair center in Minnesota and is specialized in laptop and PC repairs of any brand and any problem. We are situated at 7920 Brooklyn Boulevard, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. For more information, call cell number 763-432-3284. Or for better still, email us at infotech@fasttrack.com. Infotech Fast Track Computer Sales and Repair Center, your computer solution hub. Let your celebration begin with Park Liquor Outlet, your first Liberian-owned liquor store in the city of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. We have everything that you need to set that special occasion or bride. For your next party or great get-together with friends, visit Park Liquor Outlet. We have great selection of beer, wine, gin, and many more at affordable prices. Our customer service will make you always want to come back. We are open Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Park Liquor Outlet, your one-stop celebration store. We are located at 6315 Zine Avenue North, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Visit us today and feel the difference.
Hi, my name is Dr. Kent. Welcome to Brooklyn Chiropractic. Come to Brooklyn Chiropractic if you're having any back or neck pain. Especially, we specialize in treating people in auto and work-related injuries. We've been established here in Brooklyn Center for the last 14 years, and one of the pleasures that I have is helping out in the community. We've sponsored a lot of events throughout the years in the community, and we really appreciate being a part of the community. So if you're experiencing any pain, give us a try. If you want a drug-free way to get better. Thank you.
Welcome to the Diaspra Talk on KMTV, Liberia's premium online television. My name is Nathan Charles, sitting in the presenter seat today. Hopefully, we'll be joined by Joanne Proud-C on this program. Looking at issues in Liberia, it's all happening in Liberia and around the world. Things in Liberia don't seem to be making some sense to some people. What's going on in Liberia? We're looking at the major unfolding issues today in our country, Liberia. Former Chief Justice Councilor Gloria Musu Scott has been set free. We'll be looking into that, what led her to her arrest, and also the account from the Liberia National Police linking former Chief Justice to murdering her own daughter. that is Charlotte Musu in the Brownsville area. Police officials will be explaining. We'll also look into Councillor Tiawon Gonglo, the man who wants to be president of Liberia. And the CPP is still struggling. The Liberty Party angle of Musa Bediti has been explaining how Senator Darius DeLon is instigating some double hands in selling the party to some opposition, I mean, to some political uh, 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 persons of power. We'll be looking at all of these things. But hey, this is the big story in Liberia. Let's take a break, and when we come back, we'll look into that story.
Let your celebration begin with Park Liquor Outlet, your first Liberian-owned liquor store in the city of Broken Park, Minnesota. We have everything that you need to set that special occasion or bride. For your next party or great get-together with friends, visit Park Liquor Outlet. We have great selection of beer, wine, gin, and many more at affordable prices. Our customer service will make you always want to come back. We are open Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Park Liquor Outlet, your one-stop celebration store. We are located at 6315 Zine Avenue North, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Visit us today and feel the difference.
Let's say thanks to the Park Liquor Outlet there for bringing us, for partnering with the KMTV Diaspra Talk. And this big story in Liberia, yesterday, the Liberian National Police headquarters was a scene of attraction when former Justice Minister, Chief Justice, that is, not Minister, Chief Justice, Councillor Gloria Musu Scott, and 3 members of her family were charged with murder, criminal conspiracy, and making false statement to law enforcement officer by the government of Liberia. And they were giving their rights to the legal practitioner. And that was yesterday. We saw the whole drama unfolded at the police headquarters. The police brought them in, held them for a few hours. And today, things start to twist around because the entire movement from yesterday, because bringing in the former chief justice to the Liberian National Police, charging her for murder, conspiracy, criminal conspiracy, and lying to law enforcement officers, 3 of her family members, she and 2 of her family members. So things started to fall apart. People start wondering, do the Liberian government have enough evidence to link the former chief justice to murder? Her daughter died in her home. She's mourning. So what's going on? It's been months, and now she has been charged by the Liberian National Police. So things have been going back and forth, and we are seeing that what's going on with the case. Let's know what's going on, because the government of Liberia is saying that the chief justice was charged with murder and criminal conspiracy and lying to law enforcement officer. So what has been going on since last evening until today? What happened? So we saw today they were taken to court, and her lawyer filed a writ of Hebrew corpus to the court. And after arguments, about 20-30 minutes arguments, the chief justice, former chief justice, and member of her families were set free by the court. But we will be looking at the statement first from the Liberian National Police. They have been justifying at the press conference today. Police officials were justifying why the former chief justice have been arrested and linked and charged with these crimes along with her family members. But it was a scene of it was tension yesterday when family members stormed the police headquarters holding up placards asking the government to free the former Chief Justice because they believe she's innocent into the death of her daughter, not her biological daughter. In Liberia we say daughter, but she shadow lived with her. And when that death happened, the Chief Justice is claiming that she was attacked by an unknown person. But police officials have been given different a view of their investigation. Let's play this from a senior police official there at the Ministry of Information press conference. He has been justifying these charges. So we're taking the case step by step. Let's take a listen to him.
As we speak, suspect Gloria Mususka, along with 3 others, are being arrested since yesterday, as of yesterday, 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And because of the gravity of this issue, seeing being murder case, you will understand that they will no longer be at their private home while investigation is going on. They are being investigated on 3 charges. You want to know that. These people are being investigated on 3 charges, ranging from murder, criminal conspiracy, and false report to law enforcement officials. Those are the 3 charges they are being investigated on. And as we speak, for your knowing, we have habeas corpus on us. You're interested to know that these people were arrested yesterday in the afternoon. Their Miranda rights were read to them. All along, no one had been declared suspect until yesterday. And so, as a matter of professionalism, as a matter of law, their rights were read to them, making them to know that they are the prime suspect of the crime. And to our surprise, we got habeas corpus on us. And so we'll be responding to that habeas corpus through our counsel this afternoon. To tell the court, maybe the court want to know why we voted them. So to explain to them why we are voting them. But as per law, we use the revised penal law of Liberia as our guide. So we're not doing anything outside the law. The reason why the case has dragged is it started from the beginning, very onset. You also want to know why you, as a victim, somebody according to you have intruded your home and inflicted a wound on one of you or killed one person, and you want to report this case to the police. Why would you want a lawyer to be present before you report your case? That had been the case. Some of the delay that we reviewed, we would have solved this case ever since. But regrettably, we were not giving due cooperation by our suspect now. So that has been some of the reasons why the case is delayed. And so, like I said, because of the gravity of this case, our suspect, Councilor Musu Scott, and 3 others are with the police. And within the statutory period of 48 hours, they'll be proceeding to court. Thank you.
Okay, you listen to the police official there justifying why Councillor Gloria Musu Scott were held in detention and charged, she and others charged with murder, criminal conspiracy to commit criminal conspiracy, and lying, making false statement that is lying to law enforcement officer. But that was today. He was justifying that, hey, they received information that Gloria Mususka lawyers were filing a writ of habeas corpus, and now we just explained the story how it all happened since yesterday. She was invited to the Liberia National Police process and charged with these. She and her others were charged with these crimes. Now today things turn around in court. So things turn around in court, and Councillor Gloria Moses Scott, the former Chief Justice, and others were set free. But let's see, we've been joined by our colleague Joanne Prowse. I would like to say welcome, Joanne, to this broadcast. And as you know, this This is a training issue in Liberia. Consider Gloria Moses Scott, our former Chief Justice, and now you've been following the thing on social media. From your uh, own perspective, what can you say concerning this case?
It's kind of it's sentimental, and as well as we're as much as we're all asking for justice and everything, we want to be cautious about our statements we're making. A lot of the time we turn to try to feel sorry for the party as well, because it's family, as we all know. But this person is deceased and justice needs to be prevailed. So what are we going to do about it? How much are are we going to trust our securities to investigate thoroughly, and to are we just going to wait and say, well, they've already gotten a suspect, and so whoever the suspect is should be just take the blame? Because I know one thing for a fact, in Liberia, the first person who they see as a suspect, they're sticking that crime on you, whether you did it or not. But then we do not want to get him out of um the list of suspects, because it's possible as well. Sometimes people do commit crimes and they try to frame. So at this point, I really do not want to say whether I do believe she's innocent or not, because a person cannot be innocent until they're proven innocent, or guilty until they've been proven
So
guilty.
the way government is handling this case,
Mhm.
what have you been reading from other people? What have you been sensing
I think
in this? Is this more
I think they were
political?
trying. I think they were trying to make a point right now. A lot of the time, 'cause I've seen a lot of posts, and I've read some stories, short stories about this issue, and so a lot of people have been pushing government to show that they're working, they're letting, and I know because they've gotten feedbacks from a lot of other cases that they let slide. They've gotten feedback from a lot of cases that they let go, and so right now they want to show that they are working, they're doing something, and so they're trying to put a lot of pressure on this particular case. But I think in so doing, they should also consider the fact that there could be other suspects, there could be other people who are involved. So instead of just putting all of their attention onto one person, they could at least burden their entire investigation and bring in other people for questionings as well.
Because they displayed that they spoke to uh, residents. That's some of the justification. They spoke to residents within the community, the Brickspin Road community. There was no sign of a robbery within that community. They visited the homes of Councilor Scott. They showed pictures of a home. There was no evidence. We should put that on the screen, and we probably just mute that. There was no evidence, because if you see this, as you see in the picture there, some of officials from the forensic the investigation team, they were displaying the structure of Councilor Moses Scott, and there was no entry of burglary. So these are all information they have gathered, and now they believe, they have convinced that, hey, this happened, must have happened from
Within.
within.
Well,
So as to whether they were just, like people are saying, thoroughly gone to what has happened, because she has reported that people entered her car, took some documents and things like that.
Well, it's also possible that they might not have forced their entry in the building, but they use keys. It's
slow
possible.
way.
Yes, it's
And,
possible that they use other
and
means
the
of
government should
entry.
know that people
Exactly.
enter.
So unless unless Gloria Musu Scott herself gave a different statement from what they are saying, then there's a need to raise eyebrows. However, if she didn't, like you're saying, if she said they were forced entry, or maybe they broke doors down or they broke windows down, and they went there immediately after and they didn't see anything of sort, then you say, okay, well, her statement is contradicting. But did she say how they enter? If she, because sometimes you're sleeping, you're not even sure how somebody enter your building. I have seen our kids were in Liberia, my own family. The window, in fact, this was not even like window bar or something. It was Colombo's. I'm up to now. I cannot tell you how the people broke that thing down, but they broke it down and took the TV from the wall.
With acid there for after a few hours.
I'm telling you,
Oh,
it was unbelievable. They took it down, removed the TV from the wall, and a lot of things they did, and clear the place. If you see the place as if somebody just like they went intentionally to shop.
So from
there
your
are other means that people enter into.
yeah. So from your own reading, the
Mhm.
court now has thrown this case in a way, granted, Councillor Scott her right.
Mhm.
What does this means for our justice system and for the government? It's a blow in the face of the
Right.
government.
For a case like this to be shut down so quickly, I think before doing so, they should have at least, that's what I said initially, open up their investigation, look at other possible suspects, because it being closed to this extent, how did it get closed? Was it would there be another trial? Is there going to be another investigation? Because now they cannot bring her back unless they file if there was a mistrial.
No, it did not go. It just like brought her living body to the court. After a few 20 few minutes of argument, the court don't see substance.
Enough evidence.
Even following this investigation into the case. So more is needed from the part of our police. And what people are saying as to whether it is politically motivated and in such a major case.
Exactly. And before, I believe, before bringing somebody in for investigation, before making an arrest, you should have done your own investigation.
They call her Sarah times for questioning.
Right. Well, have substantive evidence before bringing this person in. Because especially, this is a woman who knows the law. She's been in this field. She know her rights. So you're not going to hold her as somebody who doesn't know what they're doing, because sometimes if somebody do not know their right, you can hold them and make them say things. You can question them.
Team of lawyers, over 9
You can
persons.
question them in a way that themselves might even confess to a crime they didn't even commit.
Yeah, but
this
you see,
is a woman who knows her rights.
Yeah, so and something I listened from the press conference, this police boss talking that why the woman did not say something, she had to wait for lawyer. I'm like, these are childish.
People do
these
not
are things
know
that you
the
need to
law.
know. Yes,
these are common things that people are supposed to know
like,
for themselves.
Is that why you're going to bring in court? Why the woman did not talk to you if she knows she
I
did
feel
not?
like
a
lot. There are a lot of people who lack certain common things that people are supposed to know, and a lot of people are like that in Liberia. I feel like people aren't being taught the things they're actually supposed to be taught. Like, those are common things. You're not supposed to make certain statements that could incriminate yourself. You cannot be called into questioning and you sit down and start explaining suddenly, because you might say something that even though you didn't even commit this crime, you could say something that will incriminate yourself. So you have to make sure your lawyer is on ground to advise you on how to answer, what to answer, and when to answer.
But she said it clearly. The first time she went for questioning, she said only a fool
Right.
represent his or herself. That's why you know all of the law. You've been working for almost 20 years. This is a woman who have been working for the country, and this thing, it's a landmark case, bringing her reputation on the line. We listened to her son saying her mother is innocent. He said he's been with the CDC government. He's not a Facebook profile, but when it comes to death, we need to put away politics. We need to go into this in a case with the system and how the processes.
Put personal feelings aside. Yes.
Yeah. Who is this? And
because
so
otherwise, we will have a guilty person out there roaming around the streets of Monrovia freely and probably trying to find who the next victim is going to be. Because if you're sticking your mind and focusing on this person when the person who actually committed a crime is still roaming out there, it's possible that person is planning the next heist. And this time it could affect even you yourself, who is putting your mind solely onto this person who's innocent.
Yeah, indeed, because since the death of Charlotte Musu, there have been a lot of people linked to that, right? And so they link this guy from the MCC. He was also linked. Somebody accusing Jerry Verde, other people accusing of killing this girl. So there has been a whole lot of and there, and the way in which she was set free from the court today. I mean, the scene was like, oh, what's going on? indeed, we saw the prosecutor from government side, defense counsel. They were into heated arguments. Legally now to set her free, and now she went to the court and left from the police station to the court, and she was set free. We don't know as to whether the government again will go back and to gather more information or evidence or call her in or with
You
this.
know, and one thing I want to say is at the end of the day, if there aren't enough evidence and they keep this lady under duress for a while, she know her right. She know it's in her right to sue the government for putting her under distress and causing her family pains. And so they might end up spending the money that they do not even have, because you keep bringing this person in for investigation. It might seem like a witch hunt. Is this the person you're supposed to be focusing your investigation on? She just lost a family member. I believe that if she actually did do this, then maybe they need to take a break away from it, take a break from this family and take their time to investigate properly.
And one thing is the police, the way they're insisting, they are insisting that there were no armed robbery and incident at the home of Councillor Scott. So they are so much convinced that there were no.
And the thing about it is, you do not live in this person's home. How do you know whether something was taken away or not? Well, it's possible you might enter and it's not going to seem like a break in or something. But if it was somebody who knows his home, who had a key, who was able to enter, they knew what they were going for. If they could have gone, picked it up, and just gotten away with it, would I even seem like criminals came in? Because as they stated initially, this home did not seem like a break in. So if this person knew this home and this girl recognized them, that's a whole nother side of the story that you could look at. This person didn't have to break in, they knew the home. This person, the girl recognized this person as somebody who their family know, and so they had to get rid of her. Did they even consider all of those things?
And it's so sad again. Government has we can't say lost because they might gather another evidence. This is an ongoing investigation, but indeed it came as a surprise.
And this thing needs to be investigated, because a lot of the time we hear these things happening in Liberia, and at the end of the day, the people who commit these crimes, they walk away scot-free. And it's not supposed to be that way. People, no matter who you are, what your position is in society, everybody have equal rights. Everybody who's a victim should the entire incident should be investigated thoroughly, the same as anybody else who was maybe a government official's child. So making this in a way where it seem prejudicial upon this family, as in this child, this person being deceased and their kids not being investigated properly, because maybe the government want to make a statement, maybe the government want to show that they're not being partial. Because and this, we all know Gloria Scott have not been the soft person or somebody stuff on the government, so it's possible they were trying to get back at her as well. But at the end of the day, there's somebody who have lost their life, and this person needs to be investigated. This person, there have to be justice for this person, and not just our own personal feelings being put into the case. Because this young lady had a whole future ahead of her. As I said, she was in a university as well, so she could have turned out into somebody big in society. She could have probably been another government in Liberia.
Shout out Musu.
Yeah, so all of these things are not things that we should, maybe put our emotions in, but give it a clear understanding. Maybe sit back from it and look at it from different angles. What actually happened in that home? How are we supposed to approach this issue? Because our security right now, and honestly, if there isn't anybody brought to justice for this thing, I'm not just saying if there's anybody, but I'm not saying it for police to just go and arrest somebody, just pick anybody up and say, okay, we're just going to put the crime on them. No, but there should be somebody, right?
The person looking sweet to put the crime on.
Yes, this person look like they're the suspect. Let's just put it on them. No, but there's somebody out there who committed this crime, and that person needs to face justice.
I mean, there is nothing wrong, because the first suspect, if things happen like that, you got to question
the family.
the family.
Exactly. They were there. They saw what happened.
Yeah, so there is nothing wrong to bring in the family. to question the family and stuff like that. So let's see, we can as you see here, the time when she was calling for questioning. Let's see, we can play that in March of this year. She was calling for questioning, Councillor Musu Scott, and she spoke to the press. Let's take a listen to her.
Few other members of my household. The following week, taking into consideration what was happening, and I informed them that at that point I needed lawyers because I had been in a state of dazed. I was dazed about what happened, and I'm still in. And when I started listening to what was out there in the media, clearly I said, this is time now. I'm beginning to simmer down to have other professionals around me, because we learn this council. So that's what I asked. That's what I asked. So all that has been in the media, both print, electronic, local and international, that I refused to cooperate with the police. This is why I'm speaking to you. From my experience and my training as a lawyer, when investigations are being conducted, the investigating institution is allowed to proceed with its work. And even if the institution is giving an update to the population, there are ways they speak to secure the investigation, the integrity of the investigation. But to create the whole narrative that has been out there, that the Councillor Scott has refused. This is why I'm speaking to you, because it's from my training, because this is so critical. From my training, this investigation should be handled professionally.
Madam Scott, you must be facing a difficult time, but kindly allow me to ask you this question. There have been too many speculations in the public about the issue of One Valley.
You are the person who physically saw what happened. Can you tell us, for the clarity, whether indeed you can speak to whether or not Valley is the one who actually committed
that information, the source of that information, we speak to it. But I know for a fact there was somebody in our sleeping quarters who should not have been there, and this person is the person that killed Chalo Musu. I know that for a fact.
Did you recognize
she didn't die by herself.
Did you recognize him?
When I encountered this person, I engaged their eyes and I put the pepper spray in their eyes, because it was a question of life and death. It was a question of life and death.
How vicious was that?
To put the spray in the pepper spray in the person.
Your physical interaction with that person.
That's okay. Yeah. My counsel says I shouldn't speak anymore.
Madam Scott, do you think there is any political motive to what happened?
Oh, sorry there. There was no volume. The mic was muted. So we're saying that there was an issue with that was Councillor Scott speaking a moment when she was arrested in March of this year, and she spoke to the police. I mean, to journalists, saying that, hey, I need a lawyer. And that's why today I was amazed. I was telling you, the police official was saying that, why would Councillor Scott need a lawyer when this thing happened? She said, I was in a state because it's been days. I'm troubled. My daughter, was killed. I'm seeing her blood and things like that.
And the fact that you are traumatized, sometimes when people are in shock, some people go mute. I have seen a case where somebody's in shock and they couldn't say a word for over 24 hours. This person is just like sitting and staring like they were in space. So there, a lot of the time, people react to trauma in different ways. Particularly for this case, even I wouldn't have advised her to speak with our lawyer being present, because firstly, she's been held as a suspect and not just questioning her because she lost a child. They were investigating her as somebody who might have committed a crime. So under no condition should she sit down and start explaining and just telling people, okay, I saw this happen and I saw this happen, because something she could have said could have incriminated herself. And I'm just looking at some of the comments here. I see this coming from no more Paul, saying the Ministry of Justice really needs to get their house in order to gather their facts together to win this case, because this case will either make the government or break the government after losing the 100 million joy case. and that particular case is something that I the things that be happening in Liberia, sometimes they're unspeakable. I can't even fathom how the entire justice system let that case out of their hands. Liberia, sometimes you try to believe in the justice system in Liberia, but some of the things that they do, oh my God, you cannot even sit down to digest it. Like, how did this happen? Are you telling me over $100 million worth of drug entered the country and there is not a single person you can show who's responsible for it? And they let that case out of their hands. Now, this case is the fact somebody lost their life. And there is somebody who should be held accountable. Now, you should not because we're saying, okay, we want somebody to be held accountable, you should go and grab just anybody and say, okay, this person looks like they could be the suspect. They look like a killer. Okay, so and let's just take them and hold them hostage.
Yeah, as you see, that's the video there from Councilor Gloria Musu Scott and her family member being escorted from the police national headquarters to the court earlier this morning. And heavy pressing of police official. So these are things we're talking, things are turning the other way around for the government. We need to engage this situation with caution, because if you think my repetition, I think if you think my repetition, it hurts more than any other thing. If you don't give me food, you don't give me light. But if you say I'm a murderer, that news gone across the world.
Exactly.
If you say Nathan is a rogue or he stole.
And those are things that you cannot take back, because no matter how much you try to get it out there, okay, this person was proven not guilty, there are people who are still going to have that and say, there are people who can really doubt things. There are certain people who, no matter how much you prove to them you didn't do this thing, they've already printed it in their minds that you did it. Maybe you bribed them, you bribed the people to clear you off. Maybe they are trying to just let you go. It's impossible sometimes to convince certain people, and so before you make allegations against somebody, you have to be at least 100% sure before doing that.
And sometimes too, probably what we need to do is, as a government and people, even our society, we just need to follow the law. Our police or those who are investigating should not be influenced by the politicians.
Exactly.
Because these are technical people. They are
the politicians, the partisans, because the partisans might want to see them doing something, and so that they will say, okay, our government is working. Or even the government officials, the politicians, will say, we need you to make a decision. We need a suspect. We need somebody to show so we can prove that we are not being soft on crimes. But in so doing, you want to be you want to be sure that this person you're bringing in, because you are getting direct message from your overhead boss that, okay, your boss's boss wants you to show somebody who is responsible for this crime. But who are you going to pick up? Are you just going to pick up the innocent man because you feel like you're able to pick him up and put him, while the person who actually committed this crime is just still out there, probably conniving and planning the next one?
And this is not the first time other people said, but there are other cases. The government grab people or make noise on the after one or 2 weeks.
Remember a couple? I think has it been a year since Princess passed? The girl who died by Bosses, yes. And who have been arrested? Have we heard of anybody being held for that crime? A lot of things happening in Liberia, and sometimes it makes me afraid to even go back there. I'm serious.
Some of who live in there now. Oh, I think.
No, yeah. So you like I don't know how to even say that. You maybe you know how to move around when you go there, but come on, I can't even especially where I used to live now. My neighborhood. I was talking to my mom the other day, and she was telling me after 8 o'clock they can't even get on. They're in the Gardner's area, but after 8 o'clock they can't even go on the road. She said from Bannersville Junction to New Jersey Junction, like no matter what time of the day, they can take your motorbike from you, put pepper spray in your eye as if, and people are standing and looking. I said, well, I know that used to happen in red light, but if it's even happening in Bannersville and the Gardner's area, then what is Liberia turning into?
Indeed, Councillor Gloria Musu Scott has been temporarily, or we'll say forever, set free for now. We don't know what government is planning. You listen to police officials there earlier, we played a clip. And the big news is the murder, other cases, charges that it was rendered against her. And we don't know the court presented her to her lawyer and told them to go home. So we don't know what's going to happen again. But this is a landmark case, the murder case. We are up to this time. We don't know who is the real murderer, but the Liberian National Police, they said they are convinced that there were no sign, there were no burglary, no robbery at Councillor Gloria Musu Scott home. So they think that, hey, since there was no murder or burglary, then who are those who were in the home? It's Councillor Scott and her
You know, there are just so many ways you could say this. This person might have entered to steal, got recognized, immediately heard her and ran away without taking anything. This person might have gone pick up some things, saw her when they realized that they knew each other, they got rid of her and got out. Just there are so many ways you could put this.
Yeah, and Councillor Scott is a big figure in Liberia.
Yeah.
You know, she's a member of the Liberian National Bar Association, a co-founder of the Association of Female Lawyers, AFL. They are very much strong. You saw some of them part of our legal team.
Yeah.
She's also a professor at the Louis Arthur Graham School of Law.
Yeah.
A professor is under the law. Also, too, she was appointed as Chief Justice for of the 5-member Supreme Court. You know, there are 5 justices there in 1997, and in 1997 she was there. In 2005 election, she became a junior senator in Maryland County and a representative from the Alliance for Peace and Democracy, ADP. So in 2002 she spoke at the Truth and Reconciliation Commission about the need to look further beyond the events of 1979. You know, 1979 was a race riot because there were a lot of things that she had been very much influential in our country, serving as one of the highest, right? And serving in the judiciary is a third branch of government, which is also very much crucial to interpreting the laws. So this is the kind of person who has been who was charged by the Liberian National Police for murder and stuff like that, and her family members. But hey, today the court send them home, and there were no rearrest. Up to now, they are still home as we speak. So these are things happening. You have any final comment on that as we wind down and go to another topic?
Well, yeah, I'm just hoping that at least the government or the Liberian National Police are not going to close this case. I'm hoping that they will at least keep it open and try to continue investigating, and at least let us have a suspect. Let us have somebody.
But if the police can say, so that's the statement. There is no sign, or there are no signs.
I don't know what kind of treaty I like.
They have concluded. They said they finished. They are convinced that there were no.
So nobody's going to be held for this particular.
Only
crime.
that people. That's what they say in a statement.
It's sad.
So
I was telling you, I'm afraid to go to Liberia. You say you go to Liberia. I tell you, if they can find anybody for this crime, it's not safe.
How would they go further? They said they are convinced that there were no sign of burglary at their homes. So only those who were in the home. So how can they go further? No further is to come again and do the same thing to the same people.
Grab the same people again.
We don't know what will happen. But let's go into this. Musa Hassan Berete is pointing fingers at Darius Dillon, saying, hey, Dillon is a bad man. He's a legend.
Mhm.
That Musserado County Senator Dillon is a bad man. He was on this podcast. Let's take a listen and we discuss few about the CPP, how they are breaking away, and things he said that Darius they don't have been selling in as a political figure.
People. Well, let me check my note because I want to say that last. So, there's something I want to say. When we're together, Darius Dillon, then Sandy, we have been knocked. We have been insulted. We have been abused. To say, oh, Musa Bedene, they carry a Liberty Party to CDC, they carry Liberty Party to George Weah, they carry, no, my people, that's not how it happened. We met Councillor Charles Walker Bromsky, may his soul rest in peace, at the home of Wade Power, Congotan Back Row. Meeting started 2 o'clock. Everybody that makes decision in Liberty Party attended that meeting. The campaign and everybody. Dillon was there. Everybody was there. Then we said, Councillor, we came to discuss. At that time, the case is in court. This is the first time I ever said this. So the case is in court. Let us decide. We educated people. If for any reason whatsoever, we don't win the case, let's discuss what are our options. Harrison County was there, Ben Sambi was there, Musa Bedede was there, Wade Power was there, Umu Abdallah was there. I say all the major cream de la cream were there in the room. Councillor Bronskin said,
Cream de la Cream was there in the room. Musa Bedede speaking on the CPP. What can we see, Joanne, in a few days as CPP, as opposition breaking apart? Do we foresee danger, second term of the George Weah administration if things go the way we see them going? Because obviously there'll be second round.
That's a possibility because the people who are supposed to be united, the people who are supposed to show a united front to go against the ruling party, if they're splitting up at this point, obviously their votes are going to be divided. And that's not going to be enough to hold against the ruling party. Because one thing I know, it's in any country, it's almost impossible to win the ruling party, to remove.
Why is it almost
It's
impossible?
well, especially in Africa.
So
It's almost I'm not going to say that, but it's sometimes people aren't used to change. People, I know there's a saying in Liberia that we say, well, it's better to say the devil you know than an angel you haven't seen. And so it's, as I said previously, it's almost impossible to remove an incumbent. And so to be able to do that, you need a united front. The opposition parties need to come together. They need to show unity. They need to post at one vote. But if they're splitting up at this time when it's almost elections, they're not going to be able to remove the ruling party. They're not. Who's going to vote for who? If you're dividing the votes, there are almost, I don't know how many people who we know now that are trying to contest. Well, for the opposition, let's just say with JMB and Alex Cummins, if even if votes are being split between those two, that's not going to be enough to go against Judge Weah. The ruling party They have people who are committed. That's one thing that I know of the CDC. Some of their partisans are really passionate, and no matter what they're doing, they're going to keep voting, no matter what the president do. I know there are a lot of people who will say, "Well, the boy have tried his best." I know he's not a boy, but they still call him boy. He's doing his best. Let's vote him again. And at this point, if our opposition political parties do not know that they need to be unified, that they need to put a united front, they're not going to go anywhere. They might not even qualify for the second round.
So indeed, we have to watch the political few days, so few days, weeks, hours, minutes to election, and we have seen things are going like this. It's been politics, it's been construction. Let's listen to Public Works Minister. She was at the Capitol a few days ago. You know, there has been a major shutdown of the bridge from the St. John Bridge linking Baza and Montserrat County. So she was just speaking to reporters there at the Capitol.
Right. So the aspect about the Grand Bassa Community Bridge is all about teamwork. So even though it's not 100% solved yet, but then 90% going to show the country, that is pliable. So what happened there is we work closely with the LAC, work closely with the accident Meta, and Team Pambi, on Pam Company, there were 4 teams that actually did that work. So that's why I actually prioritize teamwork. With teamwork, we're able to work together very fast. We have that, but we having the expertise in Ministry of Public Works, and then as the entire had a jack and then the steel plate we use it came from that. So we all collectively put our little pieces together and we have to solve that.
What's the durability of that bridge for now?
It's durable up to 90%. I said and we are working. We have already written. We're looking for the supply to supply us the dairy that comes. In the absence of that, we will show it up to 90%.
So that's Public Works Minister there, Madam Roof. She was speaking to reporters about the St. John Bridge. A few weeks ago, it collapsed. There was some cracks. Cars were not plying that route. And according to her, she worked with the companies there, and they were able to patch, we call it patch, the bridge. And now it's much better. But we should not be experiencing that. Years back, when the old bridge collapsed, it was terrible. It just got collapsed earlier in the morning hours. People were not on that bridge.
And as basically as it is now, if that were to happen, oh my God, you cannot even imagine a catastrophe it would have caused.
Yes, indeed, that construction. So finally, as we wind down this program, let's go back to election. Political parties, people are merging, forming opposition, forming part with the current alliance. We saw the CDC, they had a press conference announcing their party leadership for elections in terms of the campaign as we hit October. Looking at the opposition, we're seeing they appearing on other platforms. The missionaries are appearing on other platforms. Joseph Boyka, his team from the Unity Party, they are engaged too into the media. What have you been sensing so far as we head towards election?
One thing that I know is a lot of people whom I know personally that used to support Joe Walker have expressed some concerns about his health, his charisma, whether he has the strength, the energy to rule Liberia for 6 years, whether he's going to be able to go. And it's not about people not wishing him well, but is he in the position right now to go for the presidency? And I listened to one of his strong supporters saying the last time that they feel like it is maybe his the people who are in his cycles that I feel that they might benefit from him being president or pushing him to still want to be, but he's really tired. I'm not sure how true that is, but honestly, if we keep pushing that we want Liberia, we want a better Liberia, we want a change, we want a difference, and we ourselves are still putting our own interests before the country, then we actually do not want change. We just want to be there to help ourselves. We just want to benefit. And
Politics is interest.
right. Well, no matter how much interest is, we do not want some place where this person might come in as a president only for 2 or 3 years and they're not able to end the term, and then somebody have to pick up from there. But if he himself believes that he's strong enough to go ahead, he can. It's fine. I know at this point with all of I feel like the current leadership now it's not the time for them to be making the mistakes that they were making. That 100 million case, that George case was a huge blow in their face. This particular case with Councillor Scott being set free, these are things that they were ignoring, but people are actually looking at. Imagine if I felt like Liberia was safe enough. If I personally felt like, okay, our government is really working, the security is fine, I'm able to buy my own ticket, go to Liberia, even vote and come back, because I feel like, okay, it's my country and I want to be a part of the electoral process. I want to exercise my democratic power. But as I said previously, I'm afraid. So I'm not even sure that we should be talking about.
It's the security is fragile.
It is
unpredictable.
You cannot even trust anybody, not other than friends and families. The security, it's sad. So now at this time that we're reaching to elections, now I feel like this is the time that a lot of people who are smart enough will start doing better. They'll start doing things for people to see that, okay, these people deserve to go back. They deserve a second chance. But if you're sitting now and not doing anything, when are you going to show that you deserve to go back?
So more is needed to be done, because I listened to Eugene.
When are they going to do the more?
I listened to Eugene Nangwe and Finance Minister on Monday. They had a press conference discussing some of the achievements on the roads, the economic viability, jobs, attracting more investors.
I saw a Facebook post from one of the deputy ministers of information about the roads that how the widening of the roads from rehab. I think be a junction to Tinga's village area, and so what they've been doing that road for I don't know how many years. And if it's only Tinga village at this point, then that's not even something to boast of.
It's about what, 10 miles,
right? From here to junction to Tinga village is that like we're talking about our airport road that we should be able to boast of. When people come to the country, that's the first road they're seeing, and it's only from here to junction to Tinga village.
1,000 miles. Start with the what?
What's that? Okay.
First successful step. So let's see what happened. So what do you understand? What are you gathering from Liberians themselves getting involved into this in the process on Facebook, tearing down each other?
Liberians, I know a lot of the young people have gotten involved in politics, and so I can see that some of them are trying to express their passion for it, but a lot of them do not know the way to go about it. Some of them have been attacking people personally. They've been insulting people. They've been tarnishing each other's reputations. And those are things that you cannot get back from, because creating enmity out of somebody because of a political interest, at the end of the day, if this person whom you've created this enmity for isn't in power anymore, if they aren't in authority anymore, how are you going to come back to society? How are you going to face the people who are supposed to be your friends? So those are things that people should consider before trying to make enemies out of other people because of another person's career. Because this is not your career. This is somebody else's career. This is not if this person wants to be a president, this person wants to be a representative, whomever or whatever position this person is trying to get, you as an individual, no matter how passionate you are about this person and in their career, what they're going to earn, you are not the one who's going to achieve that. So if you go about creating enmity out of other people because you're show that you have a relationship with this person, if things do not work out, even if things do work out, you still need people in your life. You still need friends. You need people you can count on, because at the end of the day, if this person cannot be there for you, you need people. And how are you going to come back to society? How are you going to address your friends? How are you going to reach out? I was saying the other day, there are government officials currently whom have not been speaking to some of their friends or people who they were close with before they got in the positions. But because of political differences, they've stopped talking to some people, they've blocked some people on social media. So imagine if they didn't win this coming election and they couldn't get back in positions that they're in currently. How are they going to adjust back to society?
How are they going to adjust back to society? Let's take a word from our sponsor. When we come back, we wind down this program on Diaspra Talk, looking at the situation in Liberia. Councillor Glorial Musu Scott has been set free by the court because the government has failed again to provide more information to further investigation into the alleged murder case linking her. Let's take a word from our sponsor, the Park Liquor Outlet.
Let your celebration begin with Park Liquor Outlet, your first Liberian-owned liquor store in the city of Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. We have everything that you need to set that special occasion or bride. For your next party or great get-together with friends, visit Park Liquor Outlet. We have great selection of beer, wine, gin, and many more at affordable prices. Our customer service will make you always want to come back. We are open Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. and Sunday, 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Park Liquor Outlet, your one-stop celebration store. We are located at 6315 Zine Avenue North, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. Visit us today and feel the difference.
Hi, my name is Dr. Kent. Welcome to Brooklyn Chiropractic. Come to Brooklyn Chiropractic if you're having any back or neck pain. Especially, we specialize in treating people in auto and work-related injuries. We've been established here in Brooklyn Center for the last 14 years, and one of the pleasures that I have is helping out in the community. We've sponsored a lot of events throughout the years in the community, and we really appreciate being a part of the community. So if you're experiencing any pain, give us a try if you want a drug-free way to get better. Thank you.
Infotech Fast Track Computer Sales and Repair Center is proud to be associated with Diaspra Talk. Infotech Fast Track, a Liberian-owned business, is the leading computer sales and repair center in Minnesota and is specialized in laptop and PC repairs of any brand and any problem. We are situated at 7920 Brooklyn Boulevard, Brooklyn Park, Minnesota. For more information, call cell number 763-432-3284. Or for better still, email us at infotech@fasttrack.com. Infotech Fast Track Computer Sales and Repair Center, your computer solution hub.
Yes, indeed. We are on the Diaspora Talk and looking at issues unfolding in Liberia and around the world. The Mama T's African Kitchen is associated with this famous Diaspora Talk. So for all of you, visit the Mama T's African Kitchen there in Brooklyn Center, Brooklyn Park to get your delicious food. And don't forget KMTV TD Sister is also out for all of your events. Be a baby shower, corporate events, graduation, wedding, contact us and we'll be glad to give you that to the system. We'll also do videos and other pictures and other programs that you need. And also, don't forget our brand is in my DNA KMTV branded t-shirts. It's out. The Judah 26 t-shirts is also out. We have jersey as well, so you can contact us. The numbers are on the screen there to get your outfit. If you need to customize your own t-shirt, contact KMTV and we'll be glad to help you do that custom-made shirts as well. And the Liberia Business Association, the Diaspora, is also supporting this program too. So become a member of Liba Diaspora, and they'll be glad to promote your business. Also, too, don't forget the Nathan Charles Insurance Agency is here to provide you all of your insurance need for fast, affordable, and a reliable insurance. Contact the Nathan Charles Insurance Agency. Will be glad to help you review your auto policy, review your commercial policy, and see how you can save some money and get better coverage on that. Let's go now to wind down. We have something here from Joanne to give us. That news is from Nima County, I guess.
Yeah, and I'm just saying this. I see that I've been out for a couple hours now. It says several persons have been left homeless, and at least one person drowned due to a terrifying flood in Ganta, Nimba County. This followed a heavy downpour of rain in the economic hub of Nimba during the early morning hours of Tuesday, June 20th. The rain lasted for 7 hours long, beginning at 4 a.m. Several citizens, especially residents of the Dikemian community, homes got damaged, with countless number of properties and belongings being destroyed on account of the flood disaster. Business entities, including Lucky Pharmacy and the Guarantee Trust Bank Ganta branch, got heavily affected. And oh my goodness, I didn't I didn't even see
Yeah,
this
it was
news.
terrible because Ganta, is a commercial hub, and
Mhm.
7 hours rain, bad drainages.
Right. I'm saying, oh, look at this.
Yeah,
People homes are all covered in water.
the homes are already makeshift already. People try to
Right?
put their homes together and such
In
a thing.
Ganta, it's a busy city. You wouldn't even think that something like this will be happening in Ganta, because everybody wants to go to Ganta. People are making beautiful structures over there
Everything happening right
in
in
Morovia, right?
Monrovia, and so our public works people need to work so hard to ensure that this facility drainages right
I'm
and
open.
are open, because that's what caused the water to be clogged up, and indeed there is a need for that not to happen in our country, because once that happens, it put our people life backward already. Things they are fighting to grapple with improving their homes, patching, buying cement, and other stuff like that. Now your roof, your dwelling, everything damaged for flood. So indeed, we hope that government will, because the disaster release agency, I know they had that under the internal affairs ministry before. I used to cover the activities. We don't know how effective is it. They've always been receiving limited budget already. We've seen that even lawmakers have to use their own money to help people whenever there is disaster. So we don't know what's going on, and we pray that those who are affected as a result of that situation are helped in
Mhm.
all means. So that's how we would like to wind down on this program. The Diaspora Talk will be here Friday again with another edition. Joanne Prowse here is here. We've been talking about the situation in Liberia. Charlotte Musu death, and her guardians, Gloria Musu Scott, was set free today. She was accused by the government, the Liberian National Police, of murder and her other family members. But hey, the court did not see any strong thing to hold them, and they released them today. We don't know as to whether further investigation will be conducted into the case. So that's how we'd like to wind down on the Diaspora Talk. Is there anything you'd like to say, Joanne?
I think I said this
And one for
initially.
your Father Day, because you was not your Monday. You need to say something on Father's Day.
What did I do on Father's Day? I don't even remember. Oh, okay, I do remember, but it's not for the public.
You serve that special father.
Yeah.
So who remember some special father on this moment? I gave you the platform. I mean, put you in some trouble.
Well, I know the number one for the special father for me, or the special father of my life, my own husband, who has been an amazing support, to not just me, our son. And I lost my dad when I was in high school. And so he did not get to see me like graduate from high school or go to college or whatever, but he was a real support system. Like I didn't even get to iron my own clothes until my dad passed away, and that was like 11th grade. So he would have been, really proud of where I am at now. And there are a lot of other people. I do not have a lot of male figures in my life. And so the ones that I'm close to, I really hold them in strong regards because they really care about me, and I know. And I was saying the other day, I made a post on Facebook the other day for my first and Father's Day. My friend was telling me, "Oh my God, Joanne, you like right to your Father's Day."
You're a big book.
But I said, hello, you made that long post. I'm like, okay, well, if you appreciate somebody, let them know. And for me, I am that person who I show it to you, whether it's privately, it's publicly. Once I care about you, I do not hide it. I make sure the entire world knows that I do.
Indeed. Thanks so much, Joanne. Proud to see you. Until we see you on Friday, have yourself a wonderful day. Be peaceful out there. Thanks so much.